heartbreak, upsets. First-time winners and the eminent number 200 joined an elite group of three-time champions. The 2021 AmSoil Championship Snocross season was anything but prosaic. This is Sledhead 24/7.
Where did we leave off? The 2021 season was really electric all across the board. Pro class, no exception to that. Going into the final weekend, Elias Ischel, two-time defending champion, he had all but clinched that championship. He just needed to make it happen. That said, he had a very comfortable points lead. So he goes into it and goes whole shot to checkers in Elias Ischel dominance fashion. So he made it look easy, as he often does, but Elias Ischel solidified his third consecutive championship. And like I said all season, he had established himself as one of the greats of the sport. He joined an elite group of three-time or more winners, and mind you, I feel like the guy's just getting started. That's where things left off for our champion, Elias Ischel. In that race in the final round, though, we had Cole Coutu, his sophomore pro rider. He was chasing his first career pro podium. It was so exciting. He'd been close so many times in 2021, but was unable to make it happen. He has the most electric battle going with the 220 Francis Pelletier. The two make big contact, and both are projected off their sleds, ending their podium hopes for the evening. And then the one to assume the P2 position was Kyle Pauline. The crowd goes absolutely wild. Eagle River was what could be considered his hometown track from just a few hours north, so he had so many fans there that were on their feet. Kyle's a multi-time fan favorite. Everyone wants to see him do well. His competitors want to see him do well. So he assumes the second place position, gets another podium, and that rounded out not only a very great season for Kyle Pauline, he earned his second career win that same season earlier in Sioux Falls, but really all around great season, one of the best in team history for Team LaValle Polaris. So one of the biggest comeback stories late in the season in the final round came from Henches Racing Polaris. We had, in the second to the last weekend, Oscar Norum, seemingly out of nowhere, sweeps the weekend. Mind you, this was his first pro win here in the United States, and he backed it up the next night with another. But his teammate, Cody Cam, in the final round, there was a noticeable absence the weekend before. Cody Cam was out, unable to line up due to health reasons. He was back, and he came out swinging, so he rounded out the podium and ended the season on a very high note for Cody Cam. Francis Pelletier, a rookie in 2021, he just came off of a Pro Light Championship. His goal coming into the season was just to go out there and make every lap. He wasn't setting out to be on the podium or even win races, but he did come away with the season with multiple podiums. So that was good enough to earn him a collective second place finish in the points championship. He surpassed his own expectations. I think he surpassed a lot of people's expectations, but I guess you could say he was an underdog, if you will, just being a rookie. And if that is what he is able to give us fans in his rookie season in the pro class, I think the best is yet to come. Oscar Norum sweeping the weekend in Eagle River, the second to the last round of racing. This was huge. This was the first win of the season for Henches Racing Polaris. This is previously a championship winning team with Cody Cam. So to have Cody Cam podium in the final round, have a few podiums throughout the season, Oscar Norum with a few podiums throughout the season, but to win those two weekends and sweep, that was a big deal. Only two riders were able to do so in 2021 in the pro class. Your champion, Elias Ischel, number 200, and Oscar Norum. Oscar, there's an interesting story there. Before he was signed by Henches Racing, I think after the 2018 season, he was ready to hang it up. He was ready to walk away from the sport completely. So the fact that he got signed by Henches Racing Polaris, his comeback, put together the performances that he has been so exciting for him and the team. You have to know he's absolutely thrilled with the performance he put forth there. And to do so at a place like Eagle River, where Tim Bender, who's part of the team, has found a lot of success on the ice oval in years past. That was just a really cool moment to be a part of.
What happened next was one of the most unpredictable off seasons in years. When we come back, we're meeting a few of the key players.
Sledhead 24/7 on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. Full-time, part-time, in or out of uniform. Join us. By Amsoil. Runs on Freedom. By Polaris. And by Stud Boy. Traction with an attitude.
No, it came about from me and Skidoo. I've been working together with Skidoo my whole career here, and we figured out it was a good plan for me to go here. And I really like it here, and I'm excited for what we can do together. No, it has been really good so far, and I know most of the people from before, the people from Skidoo and some of the mechanics, and so it's a lot of people I've been kind of working with like before, so it's gonna be similar but new, so I'm excited. No, I'm always going out to the track kind of like I usually do, just going out there to have fun, like I say every time. And I'm just excited to be able to race there in the States, and it's gonna be a good year.
I put so much work during summer, I'm working a lot, and then couple weeks before we get to the practice time, I just start training. So I get on the track today and having fun with the boys and riding the same pace as last year probably. So it's nice. Like, we did so much to get where we were now. So riding and with my teammate, especially here. Like last year we were not the same team, but friends. So it's different. Like, no, that's good. I done my best last year. Like, first year in pro, you get there and get some podium, and then fighting for the championship the two last weekend. It was kind of hard on us, but it was fun too because we get it, but it was really tight. You can always have some stressful part about being pro. Like when you get on the line, everyone can be fast. That's so huge. Like, the guy next to you watching you because you think you're faster than him, you say the same, so you get there, the nerve is high, everything is on point, so you try to be the first in the corner and then ride what you can do. Every year we're coming back because we put so much time and grind to this, so we get there and we're in good shape every time and we do our best. Like, there's no way to be prepared to go there. It's just some rods, some holes, some big jumps, so you get there in good shape and keep going in, get up to speed for sure, but it's hard. After my career, I want to be remembered as the guy who stepped from the bottom and then leave as a pro, so that's huge for me to start and doing all the step all the way through the pros and then fighting for a championship in pros. It's huge for me.
I wouldn't say the hustle's too much different between other seasons. I would say I trained the same. I had off-season surgery, so yeah, just get back in the gym. It's a little different trying to get everything organized with my dad and Jake and all of our sponsors. I wasn't a part of that in the past, so I have to really remember what we did to the sled and how we made it fast.
So I met Lincoln probably when I was like 10, 11 years old. We both used to race against each other. He always used to get me in like the last corners of every race. Like, I could be leading the race till the last corner and he would come in and like cut my skis out, pass me in the last corner, tip me over. Like, he was just a smarter racer, even back then. But we've always had a good relationship.
Jake just called me one day. He said, "Do you ever ride?" And I was like, "No, I don't think so. I think Skidoo said that they were gonna try to have a factory ride, but with Boss not coming back, there's no open spots." So he said, "All right, let me make a few calls." Then a few weeks went by, and I didn't really tell my dad because once I would tell my dad and mom and some friends that I knew they would make it happen, and you know, I didn't really want to ask that question, I guess. So Jake called him, and my dad called a few other guys, and one of our friends, Scott Calderwood, and between him and my dad and my mom, and we're going racing.
Yeah, our goal for 2022 is you know, to go out and be a championship title contender. We're not there to you know, just to get our feet wet, and that was even when we were going to do it on a smaller scale. Like, that is something I really stressed to Ski-Doo. I don't have the time to see him go out and ride around in 10th place, and I don't think he cares, you know, to do that. Like, he's not going to invest his time. He's going out to win, to again show everybody that he, you know, he is a top guy. You know, there's only 2 guys that Ski-Doo has on their roster right now that have ever won a pro race, you know, Elias and then Lincoln. That speaks for something right there, you know.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Jake Yerk with All Finish Racing. We're at the race shop here in West Fargo, North Dakota. I figured we'd give you guys a little tour. Right here, this is Anson's section, right? So we got some new race sleds in today, which was convenient for this video. So they'll be tearing all these sleds apart, you know, come next week, and getting them all ready for racing and getting everything white. This is my section here, and Benham's on the end, and then Wyatt too. So yeah, we got the race shop together pretty quick with some new toolboxes and everything, and the mechanics have been working in here, and they're liking it a lot. So yeah, this is the teammates, and then this is kind of the rest of it. The practice rig. This will be Anson and Wyatt's race rig as well. Definitely a nice rig, and yeah, so we got some more sleds in today, like I said. So we're gonna start tearing into those quick. A lot of rear skids and skis. So semi usually parks right there, and yeah, so it gets every space is used in here for sure. So this is where we keep all the spare parts and everything. And yeah, just basically just a bunch of shelves for clothing and tracks. You see, we've got Brian's tools over here for working, drill press, welder. Some sanders and whatnot, so pretty much everything they need in here. And that's a wrap of the race shop, All Finish Racing. So yeah, it was cool to show you guys around. Hope you liked it. We'll see y'all at the races.
Coming up next on Sledhead 24/7, we're getting to know more of the riders that made headlines over the momentous off-season.
So my journey with All Finish Racing pretty much started back in late spring. Got a call from Chad Onstead, owner, and Chad Kylo, team manager. And yeah, just expressed their interest and mentioned they had some things that they were putting together. It sounded like a pretty good program. And so I figured to, you know, I put my trust in it, and yeah, definitely glad I did.
I like Benham's Pure Speed. York's a little quirky, but he's got something special. Got to prove something. And Anson, I think he's got it this year.
I feel comfortable on these. Like, I can actually go back to my original style that I've always had, and yeah, it feels good. But yeah, I'm excited. The sled is actually really good, and yeah, I think we're all determined to prove that this sled can still win. Like, if I can come down to the last race and have a shot at it, like, I think that's all I can ask for, and hopefully we just did enough work to make it happen. Yeah, we are for sure I'd say the premier team on Arctic Cat. We have some incredible talent surrounding us, so yeah, we should be able to make it work.
Obviously we have all the tools that we need with a fast sled and good suspension, so honestly, we keep our head on straight. I think we're going to be winning some races.
I was really excited. I've had a lot of respect for Steve's program. He's been around for so long, and I mean, we had a good run with our team, and it was just time to try something different. And my uncle Stuart and my dad have put a lot into Christian Brothers, and we had a good run, and they were both open to it, and I was open to it, and You know, if I was to go to another team, it would have been Shearing Speed Sports. He's always had good equipment. I've always, you know, had good respect for Steve himself and Elliot and Steve Thorson on the team as well. And I've gotten along with Hunter in the past. We didn't know each other too well, but we've gotten along good enough that I didn't have a problem coming to the team that he was on. And so I was really excited when we finally made the final decision to make the switch and do this big jump that I was confident in it, and I'm excited to get the season rolling with these guys. You have a lot of, you know, I work hard in the summer and I've got a lot of hard work behind me, and we did everything we could on the Cats, and now coming to a good Ski-Doo team that I think the sled that I've rode so far has been awesome, and I'm feeling very confident to go into the season on a, you know, sled that's been proven, and excited to put my style and ability on that sled and see where we go, but definitely aiming for a championship, and I don't see why we can't get that.
So at a glance, the rest of the field, it's a stout field this season with the AMSOIL Pro class. Of course, Hunter Patnode, Kyle Pauline, Adam Peterson, Travis Kern, Oscar Norum, Cole Coutu, Trent Whitwer, Cody Cam, and a couple of part-time riders we're going to see this year is Aki Palaya for the first 2 rounds is what he's signed on for. We'll see if he's able to stick around for more races than that, and Travis Muller.
When we come back, we'll hear from a rider who has put up more fight in the past 20 months than a professional rider will throughout his or her career.
Sledhead 24/7 on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. Full-time, part-time, in or out of uniform, join us. By AMSOIL. Runs on Freedom. By FXR. Premium outdoor gear that's worthy of who you are and what you love to do. And by Ziegler Cat. Exceptional service backing the best equipment.
Normal morning, get up, start heading to track with my dad and one of his friends.
Racer and I were probably about that 4 to 5 laps into the race, and all of a sudden Racer had passed me, and I remember coming up to a 180 turn on a berm, and I seen something out of the corner of my eye.
I was going through the whip section and kind of start swapping out.
Obviously coming in the corner, so I couldn't really look to see what happened. Well, when I came around the corner up to that whoop section, Racer was laying in the middle of the track.
Basically went right over my bars and landed straight on my neck, and I remember that I could hear it crack and all that stuff, and I still remember like even being thinking my legs were in the air when they're actually on the like on my side.
So threw my bike down, ran over to him as fast as I could, and asked him, "Is he okay? Are you okay?" You know, and stuff like that. And he's like, "Dad," he's like, "I can't feel my legs." You know, his number one concern that I'll never forget that day was that the first thing he said is that I'm never going to race again.
It was not a fun week, I could tell you that. It was a lot of could not breathe and always this mucus from the surgery.
Got the MRI back and everything, and they said that the spinal cord is not severed. Basically, most spinal cord injuries are not severed. They're damaged, and it's one thing in our body that can't regenerate and fix itself. So they said more than likely he will never feel or move below his injury line again, which is at his chest. He couldn't breathe, his oxygen levels are going low, he was too scared to sleep because of the too scared of choking.
I didn't think I got any sleep that whole week just because of not being able to breathe during the night, so I would never want to go back to bed.
Running off of zero sleep at all. I tried to keep myself up as much as I could standing up, but you just kept dozing off. Well, you doze off, and I remember waking up to him banging the side of the bed. All the nurses were all busy, didn't get in time. Racer can't breathe, he's turning blue. So I run over there, run to get the nurses out. His oxygen level's down to 60, and it was miserable. It was absolutely miserable the first week. Myself and his mom rotated every other day. We would go down to the hospital, stay with him overnight, and then stay with him, and then go home, get some sleep, try to do business at the same time, come back and do it again. And we actually all did that. We did that all the way until he left Gillette Children's, which was how many months later, because he did get transferred after 2 weeks from the ICU over to Gillette Children's in St. Paul.
Yeah, it's been on my mind all the time, hoping that 1 year I've said that I want to be back on my sled, at least racing, trying my hardest. and maybe I will make it to pro. It's gonna be a lot of hard work and determination. Basically, they told me I'm never gonna be able to move, walk, or even move my arms again. They basically said I'm just gonna be not gonna be able to do anything again. And I don't know, after a couple, I think it was 6-7 weeks, I started moving my first toe. And then after that, now everything's starting to come back slowly but surely. Yeah, we've been, since we last spoke, been just going through therapy, keep doing that, trying to get stronger. So like for winter and stuff, we could ride and stuff and not actually be fatigued, and then not being strong enough to even turn the snowmobile and stuff like that. And usually got my core a lot stronger and all that kind of stuff, so should be a good year. Yeah, I hope this year we race Snocross, and then maybe this spring get into UTVs or dirt bikes again. And yeah, I'd like to ride them for a while and just see how that goes, and yeah, maybe get back into dirt bikes and get a roll cage built and all that stuff. But UTVs would be fun, but we'll see where it goes from there.
The AmSoil Championship Snocross Series is the most difficult a snowcross racer will face. It navigates its way through the American landscape during the frigid days of winter, and it all begins at Canterbury Park, just outside Minneapolis, the Daytona of snowcross.